Baby, I'm the gamble of your life. Why you always gotta think twice? We could go at it all night till the morning till you can't even go no more.
Matt, how different do they look on defense with Ford and Alexander playing?
They are fast, but you know what? There's so many great athletes out there that I thought they looked pretty good when they weren't in there. So certainly anytime you get two players of that caliber back into the mix, it's going to factor in.
Do you talk to Mike Smith at all about D, or is there enough film on D to have a pretty good gauge on what he's going to do and what they want to do with him?
Yeah, I think we just watch the tape and go from there.
Matt, you said the other day that you really needed to dive in and figure out what happened in that game. What did you learn in the last couple of days about that first game?
Well, I don't want to give too much information away, but really, I mean, like, that last game was a long time ago. I think both teams have come a long way since then, and you certainly take a look at it and try to take bits and pieces from it, but there's a lot of tape on them, and we know what we have to do. I mean, it's going to be a great challenge. They're a great football team. They have been all year long. They've got great coaches, and we're just focused on our preparation and trying to be the best that we can be, because we're going to need it come Sunday.
Matt, is that basically what your messaging is to your guys too? When you talk about that game, what you just said there, is that kind of similar to what you said to them?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you always want to learn from past mistakes and performances, whether it's good or bad, and you take what you can from it, but ultimately you got to go out there and learn from it and move on.
Coach, with some of the similarities, perhaps schematically, Seattle's defense and then their defense and Robert's time in Seattle, how does that help you in any way, or do you see those similarities coming off of last week?
Yeah, there are some similarities. Just the base foundation is similar, but they've got their own twist on it too now, and they've got a lot of great athletes, a lot of great players. I've got a lot of respect for Robert and his ability to make adjustments. So, like I said before, it's going to be a great task.
One of those great coaches you referenced is your brother. Before the game in November, they were.
First of all, who said he's a great coach? That's what I want to know. I never said that.
There were family pictures. Is there a different vibe at all this time?
Yeah, I think there's a little different vibe. So I'll just leave it at that. I haven't really talked to him much at all, and it'll probably be that way for the remainder of the week.
So Brady's not staying, Brady and the kids aren't staying with him this week?
No, they're not going.
Is there something that concerns you most, though, about your brother and his style of coaching and what he may do against you guys in such a big game?
Yeah, no, it's not. There are more than just one guy over there. There's a lot of great coaches over there. Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel, Bobby Turner. I've worked with all those guys. John Embry. I could go on and on and on. I have a lot of respect for their ability to dissect a tape and come up with a good game plan. I've seen it firsthand. I've lived it with those guys. So I know they're going to have stuff ready for us. It's on us to go out there and make sure that we're disciplined in our approach defensively, and that we trust what we see, we trust our preparation, and then ultimately it's going to go down to execution.
Hey Matt, what's the biggest challenge with a running back core like theirs that can go 4 or 5 deep, in terms of preparation and kind of defending, against that backfield?
Yeah, I think they just can keep cycling through guys and send fresh guys at you. I think all those runners are really good. They're really explosive. They've got a great feel for how they handle they're not only zone anymore. They've definitely mixed in a ton of gap schemes, but they're very disciplined in their reads, and they press the line of scrimmage and then they hit it, and they're powerful. They get downhill. It always seems to me that they're finishing forward.
Matt, how fun is this for your parents to watch you go coach against each other?
Well, I know they're going to the Super Bowl one way or the other, so. Yeah, no, I think it's mixed emotions. It is what it is, and it certainly was last time too. And anybody that knows me knows how much my family means to me, and my brother and my parents and my wife and kids. And so it is an emotional deal, but this is not about us. This is about the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers, two great football teams, and with the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't get any bigger than that.
Coach, how much time do you have to afford George Kittle and what he's done, the big plays and the big moments he's had when you strategize against him this week?
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, he makes plays all over the place. What's so impressive about George is he doesn't only do it in the pass game. He is so efficient in the run game. I think he's the most complete tight end in the National Football League. I love watching this guy play. Just the emotion he plays with, the energy. So he's a big part of that offense, a big part of that football team, and we got to make sure that we do our best to try to contain him as best as we can. He's going to get his touches. He's going to get his yards. What we can't get beat on is like the big play when they ran the keeper corner post last time we played on that for a touchdown, and just got to do our best to eliminate those types of plays.
How much do you feel like the communication on that defensive side of the ball has improved since that late November?
I think it's improved significantly, but again, you got to go out there and do it. And the challenge of this offense, what they present to a defense, is there's going to be a lot of misdirection. There's going to be a lot of motions, a lot of double motions, and they never. Shouldn't say never, but they rarely line up in the same formation twice. They're going to give you different looks. They're going to hide their looks, and they know how to attack coverage.
Is it beneficial seeing that offense and that scheme a second time as opposed to the first time when you haven't actually been on the field and seen it?
You know what? I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, sure, it benefits us to some extent, but it also benefits their offense to see our defense for a second time. So I think it's pretty negligible.
Matt, when they can bring pressure with just 4, how difficult does that become to find opportunities beyond that front 4?
Yeah, it's tough when you have 7 in coverage and you can hit home in a 4-man rush, and that's what makes them so tough to deal with, because they can hit home with a 4-man rush, and it allows them to play extremely aggressive on the back end when they need to. They know that there's a shot clock for the quarterback, and it's tough to get by them.
How have you seen what they've done with Sherman in comparison to other teams' top receivers and him guarding them? Maybe not shadowing them, but do you expect that to change at all with what Devontae did last week? How they use him against him?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a plan for Devontae, whether it's having somebody travel with him or clouding him, or they'll have a plan for him. There's no doubt.
And you guys worked so hard to get your third down going, and it was such a point of frustration. Is there any, with all the variables of a new team and everything, is there any carryover from the success that you had on Sunday that you can build on in a game, or is it just too game to game?
I think it's game to game. I think a lot of our success is going to be dependent upon how we do on those first and second downs, getting in those third and manageables, trying to get them, into certain looks or whatever. And ultimately, it's going to be about our guys going and winning those one-on-one battles, because they're going to come up. Not only you always think of the receivers, tight ends, but it's going to come up front as well. They're going to put us in some situations where it's going to be man versus man, and our guys are going to have to win those in order for us to have success.
Aaron said after the 49ers game, to get you guys to where you wanted to be, he was going to have to get them. That was his phrase. And depending upon how you define that, statistically, it wasn't as hot as he's been in the past. What has he done over this 6-game stretch, and especially Sunday, to kind of put you in this spot?
Yeah, I just think when you look at all the clutch throws he's made, and especially in those crunch time situations, he had 2 on the last drive last week. You go back to the Detroit game, there were a bunch of clutch plays just trying to get us back into that game. So it's been just his ability to make those plays in those critical situations.
Is he over whatever he had, and will he go today?
Yeah, I think he's feeling better. And as far as today, today's more of, I would say, a walkthrough type day, but he'll be out there.
One of the things that people who work with you have said is that you're a real stickler for details, especially with receivers and running their routes. What was the reputation that you, or what you knew of Devontae before taking this job, and seeing him up close every day? How have you become impressed with his detail and his release, his route running, those things?
Yeah, some of the stuff that Devontae does, you just can't coach. He's got a great feel for how to run routes, how to work edges, how to get a defender to think one thing and do the opposite. But I think he puts a lot of thought into that too, and that's a credit to him. And we all know you can always see that physical ability show up on tape, and I've seen it for years from him, just his ability to separate and win one-on-one situations. But I've been so impressed of how smart he is as a football player.
What did you see in the Vikings game about how they took away Cook in the passing game? I think he had 6 catches for 8 yards, which is pretty remarkable.
Delvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that defense was smothering, and that's what great defenses do, and it's a great defense. So again, we have a big challenge in front of us.
That is walk through, because you played so late on Sunday. Are you trying to save some legs and stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of how we've gone through the majority of, or at least the back half of the season, is just trying to be mindful of, just what these guys go through on a daily basis, and especially having the later game. I just think it's best for us to make sure that we're fresh for Sunday.
Baby, I'm the gamble of your life. Why you always gotta think twice? We could go at it all night till the morning till you can't even go no more. You like it, don't even deny